Good, good day, everyone.
Good evening.
I don't know for what reason we're seeing admits with the what they call it. Are you seeing the admits with the
Yes, it
waiting room? Can you admit people?
yes,
Hmm?
yes,
Okay,
it
so
Yes.
people will be helping. I don't know why, and I can't change it right now because class is on. But I'll sort that out later.
Okay, I think I've been able to disable it, ED, under host tools.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, good day, everyone. This is 5 o'clock and it's time for class. So please, party chairpersons, inform your members to join into class. We will just give 5 more minutes for others to join and then we start. We can see that facilitator, the ED, is already in class. So please and please do not miss out on today's class. So party chairpersons, inform your members to join, and attendance is very, very important. So remember the mode of your of writing your names and your registration number. So please do that as you come into class. Thank you, and we'll be back by 17:05. All right, good day, everyone. Once again, it's 17:05, and it's time for class. We have our Electoral Act, so I believe we are all set and we are all ready for today's class. Please, if you have questions, do endeavor to drop them in the chat or raise your hands once it's time for question and answers. So please listen attentively to today's class. As I believe we are all familiar with our facilitator's bio, Mr. Kulilawal. So we have him taking us to this class. Welcome, Edie.
Good day, everyone, and it's great to have this conversation. I hope you can see my screen. Can you?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So today's topic is the Electoral Act. But before we go into that, let's have some class conversation. So it's shocking that it's only 72 people that are around here, and I think it's most odd. Do you understand? Most odd, and I don't know. The party that would be the lowest in class this week, I think we would find more other punitive measures. Lisa and Charlie, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can, Edie.
Yes,
Okay,
Edie.
so today is the Nigerian Electoral Act 2022 as amended, and this is, I would say, this is the holy book for elections in Nigeria. And a lot of us discuss politics, argue politics, talk politics, and have no basic knowledge of it and the laws available within it. Now, it's too massive for us to take in one class. So what I've done is that I've compressed it. I added the changes before that's changes the amendments made in 2022, and put in some other things that were already part of it, so that we can have this conversation on and on and on. And then we were also given the Electoral Act was placed on the court, was it? Miriam.
Yes, Edie, yes.
Okay, then. So first, before today, I'd like to just take two people, just have them discuss what they think the Electoral Act is or what they thought it was. There are no wrong answers. And then we'll move on with the conversation. So any two people, preferably male, one female. We don't do reserved seats here. So just pick general. Just tell us generally what you think the Electoral Act is. Nigerian Electoral Act. There are no hands up. Okay, there are no hands up. I'll be forced to pick then. Do we act that way?
Okay, we have Lauval.
Okay, we have a hand up. Amadu or Abdul, which one are you saying? Whichever it is, unmute the person, Charlie.
It's your mute.
Charlie, could you please unmute?
Yes, I've asked him to unmute. Okay, if he won't, we have Abubakar Musa Sadiq.
Yes, good evening for having me here.
Good evening, Abubakar.
Electoral is basically the framework that guides as well as regulates the conduct of election, pre-election, election, and also post-election matters.
Thank you very much, Abubakar. I hope you read. Did you look at the Electoral Act that was given to you in the class, on the court, or dropped on the group?
No, actually, I read it last year, I think, when it was revised. So I didn't.
Last 2 years.
Check that one out. The last 2 years, indeed.
It was even 3 years ago. By 2025, 2022, 3 years. We're just looking at it like yesterday. It's 3 years old.
Yes, indeed. Yes, 3 years. I happened to be part of the 2023 election, so I wanted to acquaint myself with the modus operandi of the electoral act before I participate, in such a way that I wouldn't be kind of fumbling. So I
Okay.
read it that time.
Thank you very much, Abubakar. Well done
Yes,
for reading
yeah,
it.
yes.
Charlie, do we have someone else?
Yes, it's still Abdullah. Are you on mute now?
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Ahmad
Hello,
Lawal.
can you hear me? Good evening,
Yes, we
sir.
can hear you.
Okay, I think the Electoral Act is just a guideline on the rules of engagement during elections,
Okay, thank you very much. You can mute
both
everyone back.
pre-election and post-election.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ahmad. Charlie, you can mute them back. We'll proceed with the class. So today we go forward with the Electoral Act. So, a brief introduction to the Electoral Act. In exercise of the powers conferred by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, and the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, the following as contained in it are regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections. These elections are general elections, by-elections, rerun elections, and supplementary elections in Nigeria. A general election is like we have in 2027 or we had in 2023. By-elections occur when substantially it's not clear how an election went, or the person in said position is late, or some mismanagement happened. A rerun is also in case the elections were not substantive to declare a winner or etc. Then supplementary elections, those elections that come up maybe because of a particular occurrence or something going on. So in Nigeria, the Electoral Act 2022 clearly states the following: establishment and functions of INEC, that's the Independent National Electoral Commission, the sorry, Nigerian registration of voters and voter registration, procedure at elections, political parties, and electoral offenses. These are various parts of the Electoral Act, and they are all contained and makes up the Electoral Act. Like I said, it would be very good for you to refer to the Electoral Act that was placed on your group. I think I'll be imputing an assignment within on the Electoral Act, which will be done most probably individually. Like I said, also the poor turnout of classes. I think I would the manager of cohorts should have a meeting with me, with the party chairman, because punitive measures will be given or we will be punishing the ESCO instead of the entire team. Yes, you are the leaders, so you must take some weight. So key changes in 2022 amendments. The first one is financial independence the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. So the new act establishes that the Independent National Electoral Commission Fund, wherein payments from the federal government investments made from the fund on other aids and grants shall be paid to enable INEC, the commission, perform its functions. Furthermore, the Act stipulates that the election funds due to the commission for any general elections are to be released not later than a year before the next general elections. Who remembers what happened in 2019? So in 2019, the funds were released to INEC quite late. So election had to be postponed by a week. And it was done the night before elections. INEC realized they couldn't. It was such a quagmire. I think it was the worst elections I have been in because I was running. So just imagine we had come in contact with, we had given money to polling agents, for lunch and etc. And we had, organized so much. And then just in the night of elections, say 12 o'clock, I remember I was on the phone with my party chairman. And somebody told us there were movements, so many movements around INEC office, presidency. We knew something was going to happen, but weren't sure what was going to happen. And guess what? The election was postponed by a week. It was in 2 weeks. I remember I nearly fainted. For me, I think that hits opposition more than anything. Because where were we going to get the money to be able to favorably contest? We had given our all, given everything for that day. And this particular amendment, I was very happy when I saw it because it ended the fact that you now think that we can just shift election days, means that a year before time, INEC is ready. So INEC has no excuse. Now, this provision grants financial autonomy also to the Commission, as it may now receive funds for the conduct of elections directly as opposed to getting funds subsequent to vetting at the Ministry of Finance as provided by the former act. So before it was Ministry of Finance that used to call the shots. And now, of course, it's a whole different ballgame. Second one was the extension of time frame for publication of election notice. So the new act provides the commission shall, not later than 360 days before they are appointed for holding of an election under this act, publish a notice in each state of the federation and the federal capital territory, stating the date of election and appointing the place at which nomination papers are to be delivered. This notice is to be published in each constituency in respect of which an election is to be held. This is in contrast to the provisions of the erstwhile Electoral Act, which provided that the Commission should publish this notice not later than 90 days before the date of election. The effect of this extension of time is to give the Commission more time for an election and also give the political parties no excuse as regards candidacy and the partisan and propaganda politics that comes with choosing a candidate and preparing for a campaign. However, by elections, the new act retains the same provision as the old act, as the time frame for publishing a notice starting day of elections, stating the date of by-elections is 14 days. So it's a little different now. The extension of publication of election notices. Now, third is encouragement of early primaries. Under the new act, political parties are mandated to submit the list of their sponsored candidates who have emerged from valid primaries conducted by the party not later than 180 days before the appointed date of the general elections. Now, this is in contrast to the former act, which prescribed this submission to be done not later than 60 days before the date of general elections. Now, the change in the time frame to submit the names of party candidates from 60 to 180 days makes it compulsory for political parties to conduct their primaries early enough to meet up with the submission of their lists of candidates at least 180 days, which is 6 months before elections. So when we saw this, I remember we're like, wow, this part, early date for primaries, which means, because I remember my time, the final day for primaries was sometime in October. Yeah, was it October? No, sometime in November before February election, sometime in November. And the sub-published, that's what I read before. The list of candidates came out in December. I remember just before Christmas. And, it was so shabbily done. Everybody then, parties were still scrambling. So you're having candidate issues, pre-election matters. Now you can deal with your pre-election matters. There's so much time. A candidate can be replaced. A lot of things can change. So this was good. Now there's also the extension of time frame for campaigns by political parties. This is not interesting if you're a candidate without much money and you're running. So the new act provides that the period of campaigning in public by every political party shall commence 150 days before polling day and end 24 hours prior to that day. This is different from the provisions of the former act, which prescribe that campaigns shall commence 90 days prior to polling day and end 24 hours prior to that day. The impact of this provision is the extended time given to political parties to disseminate their campaign messages to the populace and corresponding extended time for the electorate to decide what party and candidates would receive their votes. Now I'm going to ask a random question in the class, and I need 3 people to answer me. And this time there must be a girl. If there's no girl, Charlie, you will find one girl. So this is going to be the conversation. Has this act been broken presently preceding the 2027 elections? And this act I'm talking about is campaigning before time. Remember, it said commence 150 days before polling day and end 24 hours prior to that day. So I need three guys. Just tell three people. Just tell me, has this part of the act been broken in 2027, preceding 2027 elections, or it hasn't been broken, and your reason why? But we must do it all in 30 seconds. Chalia, any hands up? Is Chalia there at all? Miriam, are you there?
Yeah, but
I mean, we have some answer. Oh, we have Clement Clestine. Wax it on mute. Is Clestine there?
Celestine.
Yes, I'm
Um,
here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Good evening.
go ahead, please.
Good evening. Yes, it has. In fact, by more than, I think we still have 2 years away, but uh, people already campaigning this year. I mean, if you go around Nigeria, you see banners and posters of people, which I don't want to mention their names around. So yes, that this part of the act has been violated already. This is 2 years away, and they're already doing.
No, it's 1 year away. It's about 1 year away. It's not 2 years. The election is 2 years away. You need 150 days before the election, which is approximately, let's just say, give or take, 5 months before elections. So we have like a year away, Celestine. But I think it has been abused by all political parties. The APC especially taking charge, but ADC, Labour, and ADC, Labour, I think NNPP has been the most quiet. But I'm not sure because I don't live in Kano. But I think um, they have been, what they call it? They have been a little odd. I'd like to hear what Victoria has to say. Miriam, can you unmute Victoria?
all right, Victoria, wax it on mute.
Okay, I would say yes, because of the figure, even from the last, from their cap, from everything, the 8, I think it has been abused, and I don't want to mention the party. That's just what I wanted to say.
But I'm being fair. All parties have actually broken it. You can't only point to the incumbent. All everybody is abusing it, and everybody is paying. Thank you very much, Victoria, and thank you very much for standing up, especially for women. Thank you. So I'll move to 5. So 5 is provision of a central electronic voter database. Now, the new act provides that the commission shall keep the register of voters at its national headquarters and other locations, provided that register shall be kept in electronic format in its central database, in addition to being kept in manual or hard copy format. Under the former act, this register was to be kept in manual or hard copy format only. The provision is laudable as it will promote transparency and effectiveness in the Commission's record keeping and in tracking the number of registered voters who will be voting in the upcoming elections, thereby curbing illegal voting by non-registered voters. Now I'm going to ask you guys a question. There was something that went viral like just approximately a month ago. It went viral and it was everywhere. And I'd like to have this conversation. So first and foremost, who remembers when a letter came out and it was INEC telling someone who had written to INEC and requested for the voter database and they gave a price for it? Did anybody hear of that in the class? If you did, just raise your hand so that we could have a conversation. Wow. Okay, go ahead, Patrick. Or Miriam, unmute Patrick.
Yeah, I've unmuted him.
Mhm.
Okay, good evening, all.
Good evening.
Yes, when I saw it, there was a financial obligation attached for him to get
Yes, 1
the
point
full
something
detail
billion.
of that.
Yes, 1
Yes.
point, yes.
So I was wondering why would that be? Is it not legal for him to request the electoral body to provide us
No,
with that information?
it is legal. It is legal, but here's the con. It's not for free. And I'll tell you why. You see, most of the time when we talk about things, we're never practical about things. Do you know how many polling units Nigeria has?
Not really. I can't
Okay.
categorically say.
Somebody should Google the exact number. It's a little over 176,000 polling units. It's a little over 176,000. Now, imagine how many printers will print 176,000 over 176,000 polling units data, polling units, and how long staff and manpower it will take. Have you thought of that?
Okay,
Do you know
yeah,
how much
actually,
ink?
putting all
Do you
that
know how much
consideration.
ink? Do you know how much? It's not that information is can't be given. It's just that that's what it will cost. But Nigerians went all berserk,
To be
and
more
so
specific,
it's not.
176,974 polling units.
Okay, think of it now. The paper that
It's
you
actually
print
is
on,
actually
think of
crazy,
it. Think of it. We're a big country. It seems
sincerely.
though everybody forgets that. Then you want data from every polling unit. Who is going to pay for it? Government. It's not you that wants it.
True. Very true.
Okay. Thank you very much, Patrick. I'll take Fashola LP. Miriam, can
Fashola,
you?
varsity on mute.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Actually, INEC later responded and they specified the quantity of the documents
Paper
and the cost
and
per one.
documents. Yes, no.
Yes, they gave the analysis of the amount and it was exact and it was not ambiguous. So
It's
it's
not
practical.
ambiguous. It's not ambiguous. No,
Yes,
it's
sir.
practical. But what I'm trying to point out was, did you see people sharing that post, mocking INEC, mocking
Yeah,
everything?
exactly. It was that mocking that
Which,
warranted them bringing out the analysis. And when the
yes,
analysis came, I felt that makes sense to whoever is ready to be reasonable.
yes, but it shows how politically illiterate we are. Most
Yes.
Nigerians, I can tell you, the average Nigerian doesn't even know how many polling units we have. It's that extensive. And as much as we blame INEC, I'm not supporting INEC here. INEC has its flaws. But here, let me ask
Definitely.
you a question. Do you know what it is to provide election data from 176,000 polling units in less than 4 days?
Hmm.
Do you think it is easy? Nigeria is over 9,260 square meters. Do you know the amount of time, movement? It's massive. But once we dislike government or dislike anything going on with government, we always joke. We always run our mouth. We always get to
Yes.
the other end. No problem.
Yeah.
Patrick, you're the one still talking, right?
I'm
Okay, no, I
Fashola.
am actually.
No, that's Fashola, I think.
Okay, Fastola. Okay, then let's unmute Patrick. And then we'll go ahead with the class.
Patrick has been unmuted.
Thank you very much. So to relate with the document that was shared on the platform about AI government communication. Now, don't we think it would have actually been a little bit more visible that INEC provide this document digitally, so that whosoever wants to consume it can just go online and download this document?
Now, I think INEC does not release the documents digitally because I think there are laws surrounding INEC releasing it digitally. Because if it releases that digitally, it means that everybody will have access to it. There's a particular law, I think, on the kind of information that is being released digitally, especially about voting. I'm not sure of the exact one, but there is one
Okay,
that actually hampers that. So
I
that
think
because
I'll
it's
go over
Nigeria,
it.
yeah, because Nigeria, once you give somebody digitally, it will start going around up and down. And I
Abusing
think they
it.
don't want that. Oh, yes, I also think that in protection of people's numbers, remember that it has people's phone numbers, it has their address.
Details.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
there
it
are
with
people
this?
details. Yes, yes,
So I
yes.
think security for that, it doesn't allow you give that digitally because it means you can go to, because what does it take? If we're running for 1 year, I can set up a call center if I'm running for president and call
Mm.
everybody on the listing. And you
On
can
that very
manipulate
place. Yeah,
elections. Yes, you can
that's election
manipulate. Oh,
malpractice.
yes, malpractice. So because of that, it wouldn't be digital. Do you get?
Okay,
If we
I
cohesively, you see,
really, I get
go
you.
ahead, Patrick. Go
Okay,
ahead,
so
Patrick.
where I'm actually driving in this is that, okay, if that detailed information cannot be given, like giving us figures of this local or this polling unit, can even enable us hold INEC accountable per state or even per local government
No,
or
but
per
no, but the number
area.
of people in any polling unit is not hidden. Not hidden.
According
It's
to
not hidden.
register that is being published on every polling unit, right? Because if
Yes,
during
it's not
elections,
hidden. It's on INEC's
this is
website.
actually
It's not
provided.
hidden. Even during election, they tell you before you vote, they will tell you how many verified, how many this, how many that. Why do you think they've been able to curb? You get to overvoting and you see that's in front. You see what has been done
Okay.
to curb it, Patrick.
Thank you
So
very
what I
much,
was just
Kunle.
trying to thank you very much. So what I was trying to hit at, or what the point I was trying to drive home when I mentioned this and the printing and the situation that happened is that this is a problem Nigerians usually have, and I know I'm not supposed to trash it in this class, but I want to attempt to trash it. I think it's comfortably okay to dislike the government in power. What is not okay is to discredit your country while doing it. So because you dislike the president, I can tell you most people will just share that thing, hey, INEC is this, hey, and start fighting. My candidate didn't win, so this, that. So I think that's where we Nigerians miss it. It is okay to dislike the government. What's not okay is to run your country down. If the economy is improving because you dislike the president, say the economy is improving, the class is improving. It doesn't take you anywhere. But because you dislike the president, you're going to go on a wild goose chase. So moving on, the, the revision of the definition of overvoting. Now, overvoting is being defined differently now. Now, under the new act, where the number of votes cast in an election in any polling unit exceeds the number of accredited voters in that polling unit, the presiding officer shall cancel the results of the election in that polling unit. Number of accredited voters refers to the number of intending voters accredited to vote in an election on the election day. Under the former act, it was when the number of votes cast in an election in any polling unit exceeds the number of registered voters in that polling unit. That's when the presiding officer shall cancel the result. Based on provisions of the new act, overvoting would mean where votes cast the polling unit exceeds the number of accredited voters, not the number of registered voters as provided. So before, let me break this down. Before, if there are, let's say we're in polling units, this polling unit is in, let's say, Bayelsa, Yenigua, Ward 1, polling unit 1, or polling unit 2. And in the polling unit, there were, let's say, 2,000 people in that polling unit. With the old act, we can all vote. It will not be classified overvoting as long as we do not exceed that 2,000. Which means PVCs that were not there can run street as long as it does not reach 2,000. But now, if INEC accredits only 700 people came out for that election, the votes cannot exceed 700. The 2,000 is not the point, but accredited were this thing. So it's been able to minimize quite a lot of election fraud in Nigeria. Now, INEC's power of review. Under the new act, INEC has the power to review the final decision of the returning officer in respect of questions of unmarked ballot paper, rejected ballot paper, declaration of stores of stands, and return of candidates within 7 days of the decision. And return where the declaration was not made voluntarily or was made contrary to the provisions of the law or the guidelines for an election. Under the provisions of the former act, the decision of the returning officer was only subject to review by an election tribunal or court. However, it appears under the new act, the election tribunal or court can still review the returning officer's decision, but the act is unclear as to whether this is to be done after INEX review or can replace INEX review process totally. It is the writer's view that this should be after the INEX review. Who remembers a case in one woman who stood in Abia State, who stood for what went on? And she stated it was under duress, a lot of things happened, and INEC reviewed and did a rerun of the election. And that occurred. This was that part of this thing in act. Now, we shouldn't be raising hands now. I think the hands can come up class, except we talk about it. Now, expulsion of political appointees from acting as voting delegates or aspirants. Now, 8412 of this new act stipulates that no political appointee at any level shall be a voting delegate or be voted for at the convention or congress of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for that election. This means that political appointees must relinquish their positions before they can be eligible to participate in the electoral process, either as a candidate or as a delegate. Excuse me. Now, who remembers the SSA new media armored to the president, the former president, late President General Muhammadu Buhari? And he was going to run for House of Rep. He had to step down as SSA. Though after the election and he lost the primaries, he was reinstated, but he had to step down to run for this. This is the exact thing. And I know that many of us do not check these things, but you have to step down. Remember that this does not affect what they call it. This does not affect you running for office. If you're not if you're not appointed politically, you can carry on with your duties as usual. But as long as you're a political appointee, this comes into effect. Now, the death of electoral candidates. Everybody remembers the Yaya Bello situation in Kogi and how he became governor. So now, to clear this up, this part was amended. The death of candidates in elections has generated a lot of bickering among political parties and politicians in the past under the former act, leading to cases in our courts. To cure some of the mischief in the commencement of polls, a candidate dies, the election shall be postponed and shall commence within 14 days of the candidate's death. Where a candidate dies after the polls, but before the announcement of the final winner or announcement of the final result, the implication that the election will be suspended for not more than 21 days. Where the election is for a legislative house position, the election shall start afresh, and the political party who died may, if it intends to continue to participate in the election, conduct a fresh primary within 14 days of the death of its candidate and submit the name of the new candidate to the commission to replace the dead candidate. For gubernatorial, presidential, and FCT area elections, the running mate shall continue with the election as the new candidate, and nominate a new running mate. So that means Faleke in the Kogi situation, because they had already announced the winner of the elections, Faleke should have been governor, not Yaya Bello. I'm sure Kogi people have been very happy about that, especially people from Kogi West. But that was not to happen. This was not in play yet. So just explain. So technological advances in the electoral process. Now, in the new act, or under the new act, the use of electronic devices such as smart card readers, electronic voting machines, and other technological devices are allowed in the accreditation process for voters in the general conduct of elections. Furthermore, the new Act provides the electronic transmission for electoral results in accordance with the procedure determined by the commission. Now, everybody remember that INEC was to transmit elections electronically. Now, I would like to hear what two people think about it. And they didn't end up transmitting electronically mostly. So we're going to my question is going to be, did you think INEC did wrong or did you think they were right? I want two people. Quickly, guys, so that we can move quickly. Mariam, please unmute Adelaja.
Adelaja, back to you.
All right, good evening, sir. Good
Good
evening,
evening.
Ma. Yes. I think in failing to transmit the results electronically, I would say INEC failed. So I don't want to go further. I would say INEC failed for not transmitting the result.
No. You have to tell me, is it legally wrong or is it not legally wrong? Which one is it?
Okay, it is legally wrong, sir, because already they've given the citizens the hope of transmitting the results.
Okay.
So
Okay. Let's hear
not
from the other
transmitting
person.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I have your position. Can we hear from the other person, please?
No,
Is there any other
that's
person?
only an up, sir. Edie.
Why are people dodging to talk in my class? Celestine, your
We
sound is
have
up
one
for
now.
mute.
Back to your mute.
Okay. Thank, thank you very much, sir. So, sir, I think it is wrong. They legally it
No,
is
no,
wrong.
no. No, you can't think it is wrong.
Oh, sorry,
It's
sorry, sir.
either
It is
legally
wrong.
wrong or
See,
okay. It is
see,
wrong. Thank you.
yes,
Thank
it
you very
is.
much. Let's go to the next person. Olushola David Ojo, NPP.
It is not wrong, sir, because the Act supports
Why do you
them.
come up with that?
The Act supports them that they are to determine the way they want to give results. The Act says to be determined by the Commission. So they can either choose to transmit electronically or do it by whichever way they prefer. So the Act already supports them to say, if you want to do it electronically, go ahead. If you think there's other means, go ahead. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Olushola. Excuse me, quite uncommon, but well, I'm just going to take one more person. Let's have Ojo Akinwale so that we can move forward. Then you put the hands down.
Ojo,
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Can you hear
Ojo.
me, please? Okay, so
Yes, I can hear you.
yeah, I think it's from what you said, it's wrong actually. But if the commission had a reason, probably maybe if they sense that there something has happened at the backstage, there could be a reason for them not to transmit electronically, because there are news around that time that people say hacking into it and posting other results. So if they feel it's unsafe to transmit or electronically, then I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess they have that power to do that.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, okay, should we take Abdullahi? Abdullahi, you be quick, 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Miriam,
all
unmute
right.
Abdullahi. That's
Abdullah, back to your mute.
All right, good evening, sir.
good evening.
Yes, sir. It's legally wrong because people have confidence on it and they know these things will happen. This hacking, all these things, they should know it will happen. As so, it's legally wrong. People have confidence on the transmission electronically already. Even my poly unit, these things happen because some party were no, they don't have confidence on this manual voting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So please put all hands down. So I've listened to all your, but the funny thing is that the answer was on this slide. Furthermore, the new act provides for electronic transmission of election results in accordance with the procedure determined by the commission, meaning INEC is legally granted to choose whether to do so. INEC was morally broke social trust, but INEC was not legally wrong. They had the power to, and they explained they had a glitch in the system. They had some issues, and like the new INEC chairman made in one of his promises that particular glitch he will mention what exactly went down, and he will get to the bottom of it. So I think we just think it is legally wrong because biases. Now, these are key polity hot points for clarity for the media. And the media always makes mistakes about this. So the first one is diaspora funding. Next one, the campaign limits for candidates, methods of primaries, mode of campaign engagements by candidates, and adherence to rules by political parties. Now, these are the flaws Nigeria makes. Now, each political party shall make such register, and that's 77.3, if I'm right. Each political party shall make such register available to the commission not later than 30 days before the dates are fixed for the primaries, congresses, or convention. Now, this is referring to the soft copy and the hard copy of a political party's members across Nigeria. Of the 18 political parties in Nigeria, not one of them, not one, met this criteria, which, based on this act, based on this particular section, this particular part, makes all primaries, what they call it, congresses or conventions, null and void, preceding 2023 elections. Don't know why nobody went here. If we really wanted to crucify, go against, I saw the cases I saw the preambles in the 2023, what they call it, court case as regards presidential elections, but nobody went this way. 88.1, election expenses shall not exceed the sum stipulated in subsections 2 to 7. That's 88.2 to 7. 2. The maximum election expense to be incurred by a candidate at presidential elections shall not exceed 5 billion naira. Now, in the chat box, did they break this or not? Was this broken by all the candidates before primaries? Yes. So you guys remember, it wasn't even Naira. This was our first dollar primaries. So approximately the APC, the PDP, Labour Party, NNPP all broke this before elections, before primaries even. And this is the entire election. It means you can't spend 5 billion. Now, the maximum amount of election expenses to be incurred by a candidate in respect of governorship election shall not exceed 1 billion naira. Shall not exceed 1 billion naira. Did candidates in your state exceed this amount while running for office? Did they exceed it? You guys can talk in the chat box now, or you can yarn in the chat box. Did they exceed it? For states like Lagos, mass was 1 billion. For states like Rivers, 1 billion is toy money. So Akwa Ibom, same. Cross River. Plateau was well contested. It burnt over 1 billion. Oyo, over 1 billion. Kaduna, 1 billion, yes, expended in this thing. Abia, 1 billion, over 1 billion was spent. Whoever is arguing that 1 billion was spent in Abia. In Kano, the same. I can tell you, Ogun, are you sure they did not reach 4 billion? Because Ogun was keenly contested. The governor won with less than 3,000 votes. Niger is money you people used to do your election. I don't know where the three godfathers are. Now, the maximum amount of election expenses to be incurred by a candidate in respect of senatorial and House of Rep seats shall not exceed 100 million and 70 million. I don't need to tell you that they bump past this. FCT bumped past this. It's not even counting. It's everywhere. 100 million, 70 million. How much was the form? This is the joke about it. This is law. Do you know how much parties were? So, form for presidential candidate was 100 million. Form for governor was 75, 80 million. Form for House of Rep was 30, 25 million. Senate, 40, 50 million. You've already spent 50 million on form. How much are you going to bribe delegates? How much are you going to use to campaign? So this is a critical thing, and nobody asks these questions. Nobody challenges INEC. I'm planning to sit down on everybody's neck with these laws, this next elections. So in the case of state House of Assembly election, the maximum amount of election expenses to be incurred by a candidate shall not exceed 30 million. State House of Assembly. Now we're going to ask Lagos State House of Assembly. How na take run am now? Rivers State House of Assembly. How na take run am? Do you understand? In the case of chairmanship election to an area council, the maximum amount of election expenses shall not exceed 30 million. Lagos, your recent local government elections, the form for chairman, does anybody know how much it was? Does anybody in class just use the chat box? Does anybody know how much it was? Nobody knows how much the form in Lagos was. Yes, 10 million. Form for Benue, 5 million. 5 million. Depending on what LCDA it was. It's 5 million. If you spend 5 million out of the entire campaign that you're allowed to spend 30 million on just form, what do you spend in primaries? They abuse the Electoral Act so much. Let's have Adeni. Miriam, let's hear what Adeni has to say. Abba State, 5 million. Adeni, are you there? Oh. Miriam, did you unmute him?
Yes, I did.
Adeni, you can unmute and speak. Okay, I think we'll move on. So now, in the case of councillorship election and area council, the maximum amount of election expenses to be incurred by candidates shall not exceed 5 million. Please put the hand down, Miriam. No individual or entity shall donate to a candidate more than 50 million naira equivalent. People gave some people 10 buses. How much is one bus? People have given gubernatorial cards. No individual or entity shall donate to a candidate more than 50 million. Wow. Yeah, I thought now everybody's beginning. I'm sure the entire class feels, I thought Nigeria didn't have laws. We do. So a political campaign shall not be tainted with abusive language, directly or indirectly, likely to injure religious, ethnic, tribal, or sectional feelings. Two, abusive, temperate, slanderous, or base language, or insinuations or innuendos designed or likely to provoke violent reaction or emotions shall not be employed or used in political campaigns. Emilokon, thick, tribal feelings, and sectional. The East has never produced presidents. What type of... Yes, they've never, but they actually have. But there was quite a lot of it used in 2023 elections. I mean, 2023 election was the worst election, and I think 2024 is going to be far worse. If you were conversant with the gubernatorial elections in Lagos State, JRV went through living hell just because his wife is Igbo. And the shocking part is that Shea Tinubu's wife is part Igbo. She's Igbo/Lebanese. Her father is Igbo. So it's funny when APC people are gathering JRV that he has an Igbo wife, forgetting that their leading mentor has an Igbo wife. Funny how we think when we are politicking, but we don't look at our side, but we abuse others. And Badebo Road's rival is from one of the most powerful and first indigenous families in Lagos State. Yeah, because of his wife. Went all out. 95-1. A candidate and his or her party shall campaign for the elections in accordance with such rules and regulations, which may be determined by the Constitution. 2. State apparatus, including media, shall not be employed in the advantage or disadvantage of any political party or candidates in an election. So what we term state apparatus? The entire system. That means you can't put on governor's car, you can't put campaign material. Did we do it? We did it. State apparatus also refers to SSAs. They're part of the state apparatus, but their own, there's something that would hit them. I think it's in front. Not supposed to be allowed. So no state apparatus, including NTA. But you guys know now. I think I put up a social media post that went viral. It was funny because I joked. So I was like, let me try it here. Nigerian TV stations have their what they call it, have their political base. So what party is TVC? You guys can type in the chat box. TVC. What party do they seem to promote? APC. Beautiful. APC, beautiful. Not intentionally, but they are slightly tilted to APC. Okay. AIT, what party? AIT, PDP, beautiful. Rise TV, what party? LP, beautiful. And NTA, what party? No, NTA. Who wrote that? Wait. Who wrote this? Who is Adelaja Justin Aprepoju? Raise your hand, please. Just raise your hand so that I'd like. Please, Miriam, unmute him.
Relax with your mute.
Good afternoon, sir. Once again.
Beautiful. God, you wrote AGIP. What was that? I know what it is, but just tell me. I want to
Yeah, that's any government in power.
Brilliant. That's NTA. That's the best answer. Thank you very much, Adelaja.
Yes, sir.
So,
thanks, sir.
okay. And I threw a jab at people like News Central who have heard me, who are say people that have not made up their minds or do not know what they want to be in politics. They're the ones that News Central falls opposition and whatever. News Central is there. I have all of them. A few of the TV stations took it personal. They said that they are putting ban on me for their station for a while. They dropped the ban themselves, but now it's me doing younger for them. So 8412, no political appointee at any level shall be a voting delegate or shall be voted for at the convention or congress. This is gone over. Now, 96, the registration of voters, updating and revision of the register of voters under this section shall stop not later than 90 days before any election covered by the Act. If I remember in 2022, INEC stopped registration of voters in September, was it? More than 90 days before. A lot of us drummed on this conversation. It didn't happen. So the Electoral Act 2022 is a laudable effort to keep the Nigerian electoral process up to standard with that of democratic countries across the world. More so, the country approaches the 2023 general elections. Sorry that this was done. Literally, I have not. It's only hoped that the provisions of this act are judiciously implemented to enable Nigerians to enjoy the exercise of their political franchise before and after the 2023 elections. The final frontier belongs to the media space, who are tasked with the responsibility of educating the electorate as the fourth essay. Now, the Electoral Act, like I say with every other thing, is just as powerful as the number of people that know it. So we live in Nigeria, we do not know the Electoral Act, we do not care about it. Therein lies our problem. Thank you, everyone. And we're able to shut the class at exactly 1 hour. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Edie. I don't know if we are taking questions. If you have any questions, kindly raise your hands so that we can take that before we go. Do you have any questions? All right. Fashola, I've asked you to unmute.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I will appreciate more understanding because I'm not clear about why appointees have to resign before contesting and the elective people are not resigning before contesting. I want clarity on that. I don't know why.
Let me explain something, Adelaja. First and foremost, the way this way. The people who are elected, is it not election that brought them into that position? Hmm? Is it not? Hello?
It is.
So why should they be now banned by, why should they be banned by what they call it? By, why should they be banned by a law? Because they are in the business of what they call it. They are in the business of elections or getting elected. Are you there?
I'm with you, sir.
So they are in the business of elections, and so why should they be stopped from running elections? Their work is running elections. But the work of appointed people is not running elections. Their work is work of the government. So you should be
Okay.
working in the government while aspiring to. No, 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 that shouldn't work now.
But the elected people are also working in government, sir.
Did you hear they are elected? Is it that you are missing the parts that they are elected? So it's by election they will come
They are
into the
elected, yes.
into the conversation. Yes, so what are you saying? You're going to tell somebody who was elected not to run for election. As long as his term is not affected, or he can run an election. Because it's the election that even brought him into office. Or you're missing that part.
Okay. Because election brought them into the office, so they can still hold on to that election while they
Yes,
contest for the
while they are
election.
campaigning, yes, now because the election that brought them into the office. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Miriam.
Yeah. Yes, Edie. Let's take Ojo Akiwale.
Yeah, good evening once again.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
so yeah, with all these violation of electoral acts up and down, either be financials or not meeting up with the deadlines for as stipulated in the act. I want to know, I think I'm just trying to say, is it INEC that is supposed to check and correct them, or maybe are
No,
there
it's
punishment?
you.
Are there punishment
It's
for?
you. So they didn't
Oh,
place the punishments there, but it's you that is supposed to check. I don't know why. So this is the funny thing with Nigeria. These laws are there. You people now expect another person to go and do the work. Why do we mortgage our responsibilities? I can tell you that, and this is if anybody spends above the campaign limits in the US, it's the people that will shout. No, they don't even need to carry you to court. And they will not answer you. Or they will not vote for you. We haven't reached there yet. We don't even know what the stipulations are. We don't know what the limits are. We don't know what anything is. And you guys will be running your first elections in the college next week. I would really love to see how you guys will act within the election week. Because if you flout any one of the rules, this one, there's punishment. So I'm here. You should remember.
All
So
right.
thank you very much. Miriam, let's move to the next question quickly.
Celestine, I've asked you to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Celestine, we can hear you.
Okay. Yes, sir. So my I want you to actually comment on this. So Wednesday last week, former governor of Bayelsa State, that's Seraki Dixon, he actually spoke up about something which we started this meeting with, which was the fact that litigants have to be the ones to prove the burden of proof has to be on them, like to pay for INEC to get materials out when they are in court and things like that. But on Wednesday last week, he actually moved a motion in Senate that the burden of proof should be on INEC and not on the individual who is making claims or looking for
Do you know why that law?
justice.
Do you know why that? Do you know why that law will not fly? I'll tell you why it won't fly. Because before, and I'm telling you this, before it sounds good to the ear. I can tell you that INEC will expend this entire expenditure. Do you know how many elections are in Nigeria? Okay, let me give you an average. Who's ready to work with me with a calculator? Or Miriam, will you work with me? Do you have a calculator, Miriam?
So I should.
Hmm?
Yes, I can work with
Are you
you.
ready to work with me? Okay, then fine.
Yes.
Presidents, there are usually more than 18. Let's just say 18 people are. How? The case even goes before primaries. So let's just say 18 times 10. Let's just say that's for president and vice president. 18 times 10. That's 180, right? We started at 180. Miriam, are you there? Oh my God.
Okay, it is she. What's the call?
Who is here now?
I'm here, Eddie.
Talia. Who is I?
Yes.
I'm not seeing your face now. And so here's the conversation. We started at 180, right? Do you have a
Yeah.
calculator?
Yes, I do.
Started at 180, right? I just want to show them why this Senator Dixon's this thing is totally impossible. So we started at 180, right?
Yes, Eddie.
That's for presidential candidates alone. 36 times 18 times 10. That's for governors. What is 36 times 18 times 10? Keep the 180 aside or you add it later.
6,480.
6,480. Now keep that number aside. That's governors. Keep that number aside. That's people looking for governor. 774 multiplied by 5 is 18 parties. Averagely 18 parties. Not 18. Let's just say multiplied by 10. What number is that? Keep that number aside.
180. 180.
774 multiplied by 5.
Okay,
One
3,870.
multiply it by 18 parties.
69,660.
Or I put that 69,000 again as a number somewhere. You guys understand what I'm doing now. Councillors, there are 826, I think, words. Let's just use 8826. I'm not sure. It's around that number. 8826 multiplied by 5 times 18.
It is at 8826, right?
Yes, that's what I said.
Okay, 794,340.
700 and what?
94,340.
Okay, all the numbers I gave you, add them together. All the numbers you came up with, add it together. I want that Adelaja. It was Adelaja that asked me the question, right? Can you unmute him?
Okay.
No, not you calculating. Let Wumi or somebody, DED do it or something.
We have 874,530.
800 and
74,530.
okay, beautiful. Where is the Adelaja? He should raise his hand now. Who was interacting with me? Who asked me this question? The person should raise his hand, please.
Okay, I think that was Celestine.
It was Justin Adela.
It was
Celestine
Celestine
that
that
asked
the question.
Okay.
It was Celestine.
Oh, it was Celestine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes. Question, sir.
Okay. How many people? You said Senator Dixon, right? How many people do we have,
Yes.
Talia?
We have 874,000, 530.
Did you see what I did, Celestine, just now? I just showed
Yes,
you
I
the
saw.
number of people in primaries and potential candidates and potential cases. Charlie, give us number again.
874,530.
Can you imagine printing documents for that number or even half? And you know that in Nigeria, more than half of elections are contested. Where do you want to have this conversation, Celestine? Does it make sense? See, something sound interesting. When you practicalize it, now I'm asking you, Celestine, would it make sense to burden INEC with that power?
Definitely not. Definitely not. But just as you mentioned, in the eyes, or sorry, in the ears of people, it will sound very nice that he's
Sounds very
taking.
nice. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
but
But I've just shown you the practicality of it.
yeah.
It does not make any sense. All. So a lot of things that we do, activism or whatever, hey, it sounds so nice. Hey, do this, do that. Well, practicalize it now. Ordinary election cases in one state is enough to cripple INEC. It's enough to cripple INEC's budget. At local government level, state assembly level, and this thing. It's enough to cripple INEC. So which government is going to give INEC that money to be doing that? He's thinking individually. And I think that's the biggest problem with Nigeria. Whenever we address our problems, we think of it individually. And we all think individually. But if we're able to think collectively, we understand how irrational some things are. So Celestine, I hope I've cleared you on that one.
Very, very clear, sir. Very, very clear.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Charlie, next question.
Okay, Patrick. I've asked you to unmute. Okay, if it's not there, Aliu.
Sorry, am I still allowed to speak?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Kunle, thank you very much. There's a way you actually carry this class, and I'm very, very comfortable with the way you carry us along. And it is very composed, it's not stressing, you are not forcing your conversation. Thank you very much for that. It makes it very easy for somebody to follow you.
Thank you very much,
My
Patrick,
question
for
is,
being comfortable.
yeah, on the issue of overvoting, right? We have experienced none of that in 2 elections consecutively. I will tell you my experience in Jigawa and also another experience in Kaduna. This accreditation does not even take place. We don't even do it. When people come, is either the electoral team or INEC team come late, so they just jump into people just queuing to show their voters card and then vote. During the last one, the IRF was broken according to them, so there was no electronic transmission of this result.
Yes.
So how certain have they fixed, because they didn't come out to tell us if it has been corrected, the issue we had in previous election has been fixed, because that was what the last
No, the new chairman
of INEC said. The new chairman has not come out to say anything yet.
No, he has. The day he was confirmed in the Senate, he stated that the first thing he was going to get working on was the reason for that glitch. He made it clear statement. Very clear. You can Google it.
Okay, so I think maybe my question has actually been answered, because it is very crucial and very critical to know, okay, this problem we are tackling it, or we have tackled it, then we can actually progress to the new act they are giving us.
Yes, Patrick, I think it even made headlines. It made headlines when he made that statement. It made headlines.
I think I missed it. Thank you very much, Kunle.
No problem. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay, Benedict, Ilya, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Is this Benedict, Ilya?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay, good evening.
Good evening, Benedict.
My question here is, in the Electoral Act, what does it say about being elected under a political party, and after being elected?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You are sounding very far away. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello, sir.
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
We can hear you.
Charlie, you can hear you.
All right. Please just type your question in the chat box.
Type your question in chat box, Benedict.
All right. Kule Lawal, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Thank you for
One of us is this name. One of us is going to drag
you have
it.
to.
I almost today almost made you co-host in the Zoom. I wasn't looking at. I was using my phone and I was, getting computer. I almost.
Okay, I don't have much to say around that. Just to say thank you for the class. My question is concerning this protected court cases relating to elections and all of that. And after, take for instance, after a governor will have spent about 3 years, and it's at that point in time that the court will now give a verdict that is the person that is the other person that is actually the winner, right? And this is boggling my mind to say, is it possible or is it out of place for us to have a dedicated courts, right? Dedicated, yes, courts to say that should look into election matters and get it resolved within the reasonable time frame, right? And I also want to say that instead of asking, although
Only
you
wait
alluded
first.
to,
Only wait first. Have you read this act?
no, I've not actually.
There's a part in the act that reduces the time, but the truth is, the problem in Nigeria is this. And I know where you're headed, so let me try and make it quick, simple and shorter. Only no, in a sane democracy, no court should determine the outcome of an election. Anytime a court determines the outcome of an election, then it means that the electoral body has failed. Do you understand what I'm saying? If a court should ever determine the outcome, that is not the natural order of things in a democracy. A court cannot determine the outcome of an election. It is not the democratic thing to do. It is in situations where there has been anomalies that have happened that this happens. And that does not make it sensible, coordinate, or democratically fair.
Well, here
Do
we
you
are.
understand?
So, well,
But
yes, I
here
do.
we are.
Here we
Here
are.
we are.
What,
And the funny
what's
part is the
one man?
first beneficiary of this is Rotimi Amechi of Rivers State. And it started there and the game has continued. Opuzodima dead. A court should never, and please mark this, I'm saying this clearly, a court should never, in a sane democracy, determine the outcome of an election. If there is, then there's an anomaly preceding pre-election, an anomaly in the election, and an anomaly post-election.
So what's the way forward? What should we start looking at? What should we start deliberating?
Improve our INEC. Improve INEC. That there are almost zero chances to make a mistake. But in getting almost zero chances to make a mistake, we must all first be Nigerian first. Because only anybody will rig elections to enter power. Who told you? Americans, if they give them a chance, they will rig. It's the system that doesn't allow it. Do you know what the game of power is? They said what a man can do, a woman can do better. As you have seen, our lovely female Tanzanian president has taken abuse of elections to a whole new level, jailing the opposition and deregistering them from participating in an election. That's next. Look, guys, look, women, we give you people respect to. Yeah, you people are bad. Even Mobutu, even Paul Biya Paul Biya of Cameroon, in the heights of Paul Biya has been president since I was born. Paul Biya not attempt time. Tanzania woman, they just give one term. We're happy for her when she became president. One term. They have jailed opposition and deregistered them. Let me tell you, so that you understand what she did. Let me bring it home. It's like Tinubu is running for president, then he deregisters Atiku from running, Peter Obi from running, and Kwankwaso from running. Then leaves only the only people in mushroom parties, then jails them. Not only deregister them from running, throws them inside jail, join them. Then they conduct the 2027 elections. How will you feel?
Extremely
That's next level. So
All right,
be
so the
very afraid.
conversation with our INEC, right, on getting it
Mm,
right on that. Okay, thank you, sir.
yes.
Thank you very much, Idi. Subaru, I've asked you to unmute.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening.
Mm.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Zubair.
Yes, sir. My elder brother and big bro. Thank you for everything. I just want to share my own experience a little bit practically in politics in Kaduna. When you talk about overvoting and the court determining who emerges as who determines the election results, I must say that Nigeria is we're in a very serious situation that only God can rescue us.
Wait,
One.
but you see, Mr. Zubairu, I always say this, and Zubairu,
Yes.
just note this. I always say
Yes.
this clearly.
Yes.
Nigeria is one of the best democracies in Africa, as much as we're having it.
Yes,
By
sure.
far, not
Okay.
even small, by far.
By far.
By far. Can you retain one chief of defense staff in Nigeria from when Paul Biya entered office till now? You
Not
cannot
at all.
try
Not,
it.
not
You
possible.
cannot
Yes.
try it in Nigeria. You
Yes.
cannot try it. You cannot even sit on a seat here
That
past
long.
your
Yes.
2 terms. It's
Yes.
not
Sure.
possible.
Yes.
No matter how powerful you are, they will
Of
burn this
course.
country down.
Yes.
So Nigeria, yes, we have our problems. I
Yes.
don't really like comparing Nigerian democracy to any other African country, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
We have 176,000 polling units. Do you know how many
Yes.
polling units they have in Cameroon? In this thing, there are nowhere else now.
Yes.
Ordinary polling units in one state is almost the entire polling units in Tanzania.
In Tanzania, yes.
That's why whenever I compare Nigeria's democracy, and I think I wrote a paper not too long ago. I'll share it with the cohort. I wrote a paper
Okay.
on determining electoral differences, and the people I was comparing to Nigeria was India. India has 1 million polling units. 1 million. There are a billion people.
Yes.
And they have over 900 million registered voters. And guess what about India?
Yes.
India makes provision for people outside the country to vote. You go to their embassy.
Okay.
But the difference between India and Nigeria is this. You see, any country as large as ours, we have a problem in Nigeria. We are this
Yeah.
large. If we want a better election outcome, let's do our election like everybody over 2 weeks. India does zone over 2 weeks. US does zone over 2 weeks. What is Nigeria's zone to want to release how many 176,000 polling units in 3 days? It's madness.
Because
There
of
are
you
bound
want to
to be
read, that's why.
errors.
Yes.
No,
It's
but there are
deliberate.
bound to be errors. It's impossible. It's too much. I'm sure a lot of people in this class are surprised that we have 176,000 polling units. Over 17. I'm sure when I called the number, people thought I was joking when I said it.
No,
They were
I
like,
know the numbers
he's
actually.
exaggerating.
No, you're
No,
right.
but I said most people. I'm saying the average
Yes.
Nigerian doesn't know.
They
So
don't
you
know. They
think you
don't.
can compile 176,000 polling units in 3 days? That's a joke now. And we all know it.
So
We had a staggered. I've
mm.
always been behind staggered elections. Go ahead, Zubairu. I've always been behind
Yes,
staggered
sir.
elections.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is that the whole process and the abnormalities in the process of elections that we think there are lapses is deliberate. It's designed in such a way that those gaps will be there for whoever is in power to be able to rig elections. The overvoting, like in the campus now where you were born and bred, most of those polling units are the votes are casted. They are
Mukhtar,
casted.
wait. Mukhtar,
Yes,
slow
sir.
down, sis. Why do you know so much about me? You know the campus I was born and bred.
Yes, I'm your younger brother. That's why I called you elder brother.
You are a Zaria boy.
I'm Yazuberi's younger brother anyway, sir.
You say you're who?
Late Bashir Sanusi. You know Bashir Sanusi?
Yes, I know Bashir Sanusi.
I'm his cousin.
Oh,
Late.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Your younger brother, he's my classmate.
Which one?
His name has escaped my mind. We call him Lad, so we call him by the surname. What's his name?
Which one? Twin. It's all that one.
Yes,
Economics.
Lawal, yes, Toyin.
That's the one in ICPC.
Yes, Toyin. So, like I was saying, sir, those polling units in those areas, votes are casted and counted. But along the line, because after casting this vote and it's counted, the POs in those units actually being enlisted by a particular group of political parties. So they're either paid to add one ballot paper into it, so you have a voting, and to be cancelled when you get to the collection centers.
Let me improve. Wait, sorry, so that I won't forget. You know, you're talking quite a lot, so I'll just take things as you're talking. Now,
yes, sir.
I need to tell you something about the polling units and where rigging or how rigging occurs.
Yes,
Every
sir.
political party actually brings money for that extra ballot paper.
Yes.
It's who bids the highest that wins that.
Highest,
that
and who's the smartest. Yes.
Yes, smartest also that is able to negotiate. Fine, go ahead. Let's continue.
Yes, sir. So that's that's one. So I think my only little observation is that all of us here in the cohort should actually not just stop at the theoretical part of this training. Let's also be able to go back to our grassroots and practicalize this.
Practicalize
these lessons we're getting from here.
Wait, but you know that you have a physical project, right?
Yes.
You must deliver a physical project before the end of the cohort for you to pass. And that's what we try to institute.
Yes. So I think I'm just calling our other colleagues in the cohort to actually not just stop at the theory part of this class. Let's go back and practicalize these things in our local constituencies, communities, to see that what we're saying and what the advice and the direction you're giving us is actually put into practice. Thank you very much, and God bless you, sir.
Mukhtar, my brother, thank you so
sir.
much. And it's a privilege to have this conversation. Well, since you've known me since I was a kid, you know clearly I was not a politician. So when I tell them I had nothing to do with politics, you can vouch that I was never in any SUG. What do you remember of Kunle Lawal? No, don't say anything. I wanted to say, what do you remember of Kunle Lawal? I just remember that you can bust my clean records.
No, this is an official class. This is an official class, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Wait, Charlie, let me answer something. The court has halted PDP convention. I hope this is not a strategy scripted by the FG. In your bong, you know me very well. Why would you ask this question? This is not scripted. Is this how much people hate the APC? The PDP has a lot of fracas. There's a case in court with the secretary, national secretary. There's a case in court even with contention with the present chairman. How can you do a convention when you have all those problems? Who is going to? So if the court now declares this is not the chairman, he would have conducted a convention. Let them clear their national secretary is like the head of administration of a political party. You know that. He's in court right now over his validity in that position or not. So these are discrepancies. That's why PDP's convention was halted. I think we should. I think this court, please do something. Don't give APC that much credit. They are not that powerful. You understand? I think Nigerians blame and create one nightmare game of who APC is. APC doesn't have lever to stop PDP convention. They don't have. You can't even do it. If they do it, this country will burn. I don't know why you guys think that. And this is what we're trying to kill in the Electoral College. This kind of, you just think that it is possible. Not possible in your bong. It's not possible. And Charlie, you can go ahead with the next question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Olushola David.
Thank you very much, sir. I wanted to draw my question from what you said. You said you're one of those who advocate that our election, before we declare result, we should give our election a span period of time. America is
we should stagger our elections. Yeah, stagger our elections. Yeah.
But sir,
I've argued that a lot.
Don't you think that due to how we rig election in Nigeria, if you give people enough time to conduct this election, is there enough room to also rig the election? Looking at in few days that
what you'd have asked is, what do I think about? How do I imagine, so that you get the picture? How would I imagine staggered elections? That's what you should have asked. Do you understand? Olushola? And if you ask that, I'll answer you. Hello?
Okay, sir. Okay. I'm asking now. Because I'm afraid
Okay.
that if we give too much time for this election, there's going to be proper rigging. And we are not
Okay,
even
so what
rigging
would
yet.
you call
We are going to use
staggered
yes,
election? That's it. Okay. So what will you call staggered election? I'm saying okay. Today the elections happen in Kaduna State. Do you understand? The elections happen in Kaduna State. The results of Kaduna State are already known. Is that not how America does it? That's how India also does it. Results in Kaduna State are known. They will move after 2 days. The police, everything. So you have enough. Number one, let me even tell you. Let me ask you a question. Olushola, how many policemen do we have in Nigeria? Is it that he's not there? Charlie, what's happening?
Olushola is muted. You can unmute.
Olushola, stop muting yourself. Just remain unmuted.
exact figures, sir, but I know we are not up to 1 million. But, sir, sorry,
Wait,
can I
wait.
say this,
Eh.
sir?
No. Let me
Sir,
finish what the
please,
point
sir,
of
please. I want, sir, I will allow you, sir, please. Because I am looking at America, who have a working system, compared to Nigeria, who does not have a working system. So I'm afraid that
Olushola, can you first get your mind out of this activist behavior and look at the actualities on ground? Here's the first conversation, Olushola. We have only 400,000 policemen. Of that 400,000, 200,000 are guarding vital assets and VIPs, meaning we have 200,000 policing 200 million. That's already an anomaly. Talia, how many polling units do we have? 176,000. Can we even put one policeman at a polling unit? We cannot. That's the truth. If not, they will rob the whole Nigeria because the whole roads are empty. Everywhere is empty. So we are not even built to conduct elections the way we are. As regards the statement that you're saying America is already a working system, you think they didn't rig election in America before they got to where we are? We want to fly, but you don't want to crawl, walk, and then fly. We have to first stagger. And why I'm saying it is look at any country that's our size, landmass and population. Nobody does election and delivers in 3 days. Nobody anywhere does it in the world apart from Nigeria. Any country Nigeria's size. America is just 300 and something million, just slightly, but with the landmass of 50 times Nigeria. Not 50, but let's just say about 40 something times Nigeria. They have to stagger their elections. So the truth is, if we are doing, have you not noticed that when we are doing smaller elections, it's like it's more secure. There's less wahala than the presidential, where everybody is doing something. All we need to do is compress this thing down, stagger this election across, and then organize how I suppose. Cardinal result has come out. Kano next. Go to Kano. Or you don't need to go to Kano if you want to really disrupt how a region is voting. You can go to Imo for the next election. Go to Anambra. Do you understand? And that's what I think will work best, in my view, though. My perspective and what I've seen. But like I said, I'll share what I wrote about staggered elections and etc.
Okay. Thank you very much, Iggy.
So Sekina HOP is asking question from behind the scenes. Does daily campaign affect the election? When is the best time? When is it best for a candidate to start campaigning? You start campaigning okay, really campaigning. You start it 150 days before now. And the early campaign, yes, it affects the election because candidates now spend more. Before it was 90 days, now it's 150 days. It's more expensive. People want me to share something that I use my entire brain to write. And then you guys just carry it for free. Somebody will go and print it one day and say that's his view of Nigeria. I'm just joking. So I'll share it's an opinion piece on how our elections are and how it should start. So I'll share it. Benedict, please type your question. Your network wasn't good. Yes, the only way to. So I'm reading
Daffy.
Daffy. It said, from my observation, it appears the major electoral manipulations often occur in collation centers rather than polling units. In your view, how can these issues be effectively addressed in line with the provisions of the Electoral Act? Yes, so I know that because of my time running for office and every other thing I've seen. So here's the conversation I'm throwing out. And that was what I put in for the Electoral Act, this present amendment. Electronic transmission should be mandatory. We shouldn't give space for INEC to rigmarole. Mandatory electronic transmission of results. That will end collation centers. We spend a lot of money on collation centers, dogs, guards, dogs that we don't see, guards, this one, that one. It's no need. Let it just go to the INEC center straight, and it's fine. It's only one central collation system. Everybody has one central, not those small state collation centers that has to go to before it goes. That's where the robbery starts. So if we electronically transmit a DAFI, we'll be able to solve everything. Talia, you can
Okay.
unmute Abakar Musa Sadiq.
Abakar, I've asked you to unmute.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me
Good
once
evening,
more.
Abubakar. Oh, wow.
Yes, I want to comment rather on this campaign threshold that the INEC stipulated on each and every political party and also offices. So my view on this is the threshold is rather ideal than reality because based on what the manpower and as well as the system that is in the country, as well the modus operandi of INEC. I don't think INEC have the capacity to even attempt to even trace the spending of such kind of candidates
But
that contest very often.
Abubakar, this is
Yes, sir.
Abubakar, this is the problem. Agani, masalan kenan. But it's not supposed to be INEC chasing the people. It's supposed to be us, not INEC. The law is there now. But we will never do it, and I'll tell you why. Because I want to chop Kunle Lawal's money when I'm running. Do you know how much people wanted to chop on my head? You know what? I'm going to give you guys. Today. I'm going to drop Charlie. We should give my book out to this cohort too. So we'll drop it on the group tonight so that you guys will read through. I want you to read it because I want you to see what actually candidates go through our bucket. Do you get? And what actually happens from the side,
Yes, sir.
from the view of someone that has run for office. Who do you think asks for money? You think it's candidates that want to give money, that come with money and say they want to give? Or is the electorate that asks for money? Which one do you think it is, Abubakar? Abubakar, which one do you think it is?
Sometimes candidates on WhatsApp, can you please repeat the question?
See,
There was a breakage in transmission.
Abubakar, I said, who do you think asks for money? Candidates bring money or electorate asks for money? Which one do you think it is? Hello?
Abubakar, are you there?
I think he has problems with his network.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give my book out today so that you guys can read. It's supposed to be an interesting read and you are going to enjoy. So I want you to see how candidate, because most of the time everybody always has a conversation from hey, electorate. You would think you are saying, Sabi. Say if we compete against each other, you find out the truth today. You find this cohort is just a microcosm of Nigeria. So everybody, I'd like to say thank you for this class. The attendance was very, very poor. Thank you for this class. Charlie or Lisa, do you have anything to say to them? Is Lisa in class?
Okay, no. Okay. She doesn't have
Yeah, mute your.
co-host function.
I've asked her to submit.
Yes.
I've made our co-host. I've made our co-host. Co-host, sorry.
All right. Thank you so much, Edie. I have nothing to say. It's been a very interesting class. Thank you.
Okay then. Thank you, everyone, and better be in class for tomorrow. I'll drop my book on the group in a bit. We can have a conversation after that. Thank you, everyone. Always a great night. Have a lovely Friday. Don't party out too much. And for those that are going out, don't powder your face too much or don't overcut your hair, etc. Look forward to tomorrow's class. Thank you, everyone.